Hey everybody, SG Caper here, doing some painting. Figured I'd record it because I haven't done that in a while. Working on some A-Team figures. I got his head priming outside. This one's already primed and ready to go, so I guess I'll paint it. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't painted in a long time. Finally back out in the workshop. It was too cold all winter to get out here, and I don't have my wife got me a little space heater, but it was not enough. It just was too cold, so didn't get out here like I wanted to. Let's see if I can get that closer. Here we go. Oh, putting on my glasses would help. So I already did one face, and I did one because I got to meet Dirk Benedict at RetroCon, and I had him sign a custom card that I made with his figure in it. And he got very excited and was holding the figure and like waving it around, and all I was thinking the whole time was, please don't break, please don't break. And I just didn't want the bubble, the blister to pop off, because it's just kind of glued onto the card back. And thankfully it didn't, because that would have sucked. And he was like, you should sell these. And I was like, that's kind of not how any of this works, unfortunately. And he signed it and was happy. I was happy. He was happy. Everybody was happy. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. Hopefully you can hear me. I got the fan going. It's really hot. Used the Army Painter War Paints Kobold Skin. If you can see, I printed up a couple Ruger Mini 14s, and unfortunately they're a little too small. So here's that. Little small. I just got to go up a little bigger, and they'll work. I want the magazine to be the same size since they both shoot 5.56, and the pistol grip needs to be a little bigger. But it was a test print, so I have those. I don't know how much you can see on my desk, but it's a mess, and I just cleaned it up so I could make this video. Tells you how much of a mess it is. All right, hopefully that dried a little. I hope. Now, I'm not gonna be able to paint match this. So what I will do at the end is I'm gonna put a little light coat of my paint over the hands and the neck. Not a lot, just enough so it kind of blends. Doesn't need a lot. I could go about trying to mix and match, and that's just a big hassle. So not gonna do that. Here's my second coat. I'm keeping the brush pretty wet so that the paint flows a little better. I got a big cup of water. I keep dipping it in over here. So one of the subscribers said that they watch my videos a lot and they wanted me to do more tutorials, and I said, you know what, I really do need to. Although I kind of feel like at this point they're less tutorial and just more me painting. It's the same stuff. Once you figure out the basics, it's the same thing over and over and over. I mean, you can always learn new techniques and new ways of doing things, and I try. Gotta let that dry. I try. While that's drying, let's work on this one. So, if you know the A-Team, you should know who this is. He loves it when a plan comes together. I'm going to leave those as gloves. I'll repaint them. For now. Hannibal Smith, George Papard. Right. You know what? No, I'm gonna get them out now. I can't. I'm boiling to get them out. Didn't you say you were going to make them gloves? I did say that. Changed my mind. And if I don't like it, I can change my mind again. Normally I would try to get these off, but I don't have any hot water right now, and I don't want to go in the house. That's the downfall of having a workshop in the garage, is I don't have a sink out here. So if I want water, I have to go in the house. Which is kind of a bummer. But I have a lot more space out here. My daughter is away at sleepaway camp for the next month. It's actually 2 weeks and then 2 weeks. The camp she's at does 2-week sessions. So we dropped her off, and it's not even 2 weeks, it's freaking 12 days. Anyway, we dropped her off on a Sunday. We got to pick her up, not this Friday, we'll pick her up next Friday. We'll go for a little beach trip over the weekend with her, and then we will drop her back off for another 2 weeks, 12 days. And hopefully she's having a good time. But what that means for me is I have all this time with nothing to do, not with nothing to do, with no distractions. My wife is working, I'm home all day. We just got chickens. Well, we didn't just get chickens. We got chickens in April. And I've been spending a lot of time with them, working on the yard, trying to get a lot of yard stuff done, making trips to the dump. Where I live, they don't do like yard waste collection. Leaves. They do leaves once a year in December. They don't do it again in the spring though. So I gotta do that. All the yard stuff, hanging out with the dog. Plus it's been really freaking hot. So I try to get a lot of stuff done in the morning before it gets hot, and then in the afternoon I do, running around, going to the grocery store, yada yada. Went to the post office today to mail out some stuff. Been working really hard on printing stuff, and I've got a couple friends who've been buying from me. And if you're looking for stuff, I sell 3D prints of things. In fact, I have these heads that I'm painting. I have these for sale. Full set of all four: Murdoch, BA, Face, and Hannibal. Full set. Problem though, shipping is so goddamn outrageous right now. I mean, it's out of control. I went to ship something to my daughter today at camp, and they wanted $9 to ship something that only cost me $7. I said, nope, not going to ship it. I'm just going to give it to her when I see her, and she can have it for the next round of camp. And I had to ship a couple parts to a friend out in Colorado. It was $10. It's like, Jesus Christ. And I shipped 2 heads and a 3D printed one of these. No, actually it was this. I sent them one of these, a head, and something else. And it was $10 to ship. And I was like, God damn. It's just out of control. I had a guy come over. I got a coupon in the mail for a garage door tune-up. So I called today, and they were like, "Yeah, we can see you today." And they came, and he's doing up the invoice for the tune-up, and I had the coupon, and then he's going over everything, and they had a $10 fuel surcharge because they drove here. And I was like, well, how the hell else would you get here? You're not walking. You're not taking a horse. It's just assumed. Like, that shouldn't be a surcharge. That should be built into the pricing. Like, what the hell? But I paid it because the guy was nice and did a good job. He was here like an hour. There's Face. This one's a little small. I was going to use it originally, but looks a little small. Even looking at it now, looks a little small. Let's keep going. And I'm just gonna build the color up. I love the tops of these bottles because I can count how many drops, especially when I'm doing color mixing, because then I know exactly how many drops. I can write it down and know if I use that many drops, I'll always get the same color. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I use a lot of Games Workshop paints. I love how fast it dries, I love how easy it is to work with, and I love that I can get it really easy because I have a Warhammer store where I live. All good things, right? I just don't like the bottle. And I wish they had the dropper cap. I really do. Okay. Just going slow. What are you working on? What are you painting? Making? Part swapping? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing anything? You should. Why are you watching me? Fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Where we at? 17 minutes. You've been watching me for 17 minutes and I haven't really done anything yet. Go me, huh? So I got my glasses on and I have this magnifier light. Let me tell you, I can see. Getting old sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. There's a little hair there. Got it. Except there's another one. So meeting Dirk Benedict was really fun. He's a very, very nice guy. Super nice. He was very nice to my daughter. Talked to us for quite a long time, despite how long his line was. And I had paid to get a photo of my family with him in front of the A-Team van. And so when we got in line when it was time, and we're waiting, it's our turn, we're up next. And out of nowhere, Eric Estrada comes over. Eric Estrada was at con. This was at RetroCon down in Pennsylvania, and if you've never been, you should go. It's a lot of fun. So Eric Estrada comes over, and he's talking. Dirk Benedict is talking to somebody, and Eric Estrada's going, Dirk, look over here. He's trying to get his attention. And as he's finishing his conversation with the people he's talking to, I looked at him and I said, Mr. Benedict, Eric Estrada is trying to get your attention, which was a very odd statement I never expected I'd be saying, and yet it was also true. And then they talked and did whatever they were doing, and we got our photo. All right, let's work on his hair. Give me a second here. So here's the one I did. Here's the card I made. And his hair is kind of a dirty blonde. There's the back of the card. Look at that little QR code if you want. Anyway. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this hair. I'm going to start with some brown. And I'm going to be doing Citadel Base Morn Fang Brown. Or maybe not. Looks like it might have separated on me. I really should look at my paints before I sit down to do things like this. I think I can do it. All right. You want to get your brush nice and sharp when you're painting the heads. Especially these little bits where it overhangs. Sorry, trying to concentrate here. I'm going to have to go over the face one more time with the flash. But I want you to see. I want to water it down enough so that it comes off the brush easily. It also fills in all these little nooks and crannies. let's keep going here. Anyway, he was super nice. We got a cool photo, went on our Christmas card last year. This year, some of the guests at RetroCon include Max Headroom. Like, that's fucking cool. Or Trash Can Man, depending on how you know the actor. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, and I'm not looking it up because I'm using my phone to record this, so I can't. But he's going to be there, and I actually 3D printed Max. It came out okay. I'm gonna try another one. If you can see, like, the glasses got messed up on both sides. Part of it is the quality of the file I bought, but I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try repositioning it as it prints, find the best way to print it. I'm gonna print up a couple of them. One of my buddies wants one because he's going to RetroCon. He's actually coming out from Colorado to go, which is very cool. There we go. Now I can see better. And I want to print two because I'm going to make a card, and I'm going to have them side by side to one of this TV, right? So there's going to be TV, and then I'm going to make a Max Headroom figure, and I'm going to mount them like this on the card and have them sign that. I think that'd be pretty cool. And yeah. Why is he sticky? I don't know what's going on, but this is a Marauder figure, and it's getting very sticky. And I know it's hot and humid, but it's not that hot. It shouldn't be melting the plastic. Let's see. See that? Weird. Never had that happen before. Over here dropping stuff. I'll let this dry for a minute before I take it off of here and paint the underside of this back. So yeah, meeting Dirk Benedict was very cool. He was very nice. I also met Eric Estrada. I got him to sign a figure I made of him as Paunch. John was there. I don't remember that actor's name. But I just running out of money. These guys want, $40, $60 for an autograph. And it adds up quick. So instead of getting all the autographs I wanted to get the autographs of the voices of Pinky and the Brain, John from Chips, and I think there was another one. Instead, I got the Flight of the Navigator, Dirk Benedict, and Eric Estrada. And then I bought a complete G.I. Joe base and a complete Terradrome. And it's like I could have gotten all the autographs, but that would have been it. I would have spent as much on the autographs as I spent on a mint complete base and a, well, almost complete Terradrome. And that's outrageous. Outrageous, I say. All right, clean this brush. Let's see here. I need Citadel color base Abaddon black. What do I need black for? The eyes. Trying to get my big fingers out of your way. Okay, do the other eye. Eyes are tricky. And as always, I do a better job on the left eye than I do on the right eye. Seems to always be the case. Just went back to that flesh tone. Just super watered down light. Just smooth that out a little bit. Smaller brush. Get it wet. see if I can kind of fix this eye. This might be my second video about painting this figure. I don't know. In fact, I'm gonna look before I post. Just to make sure. I'm still gonna post it, so if you're watching, thanks. Probably have another one where I did the same thing. Now I'm in the Citadel Color Layer White Scar. Sometimes I taught myself to do eyes doing the black first and going over it with white. I know most people do it the other way. They do the white and then they go back with the black. I've done that now too. I've tried both ways. Really just whatever I feel like doing at the time. This time, this is how I wanted to do it. Okay. Brush is loaded up. And I'm gonna have to go over the black because that looks like trash. That's okay. Not the end of the world. When you're painting, as Bob Ross would say, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. I'll go with that. Looking at his eyes. This is Citadel Layer Rust Gray. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that. Somebody's a little excited for the 4th of July. It's not even 4th of July yet. My poor dog is in the house and is now losing her mind. Now I'm going to do a little bit of the Citadel Color base, the Fang. I know I'm going backwards with the colors. I should have done the base first and then the layer, yada yada, blah blah blah. You're right, but this is how I did it. Going back to the black. Hey, I'm wearing back and black t-shirt. AC/DC. Yippee-ki-yay. Now I am gonna get my brush really wet because I want this paint to come off very easy. And hopefully I don't screw it up too much. Let's see what happens. Fuck. There you're going. That was a lot, and you're right, it is. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll fix it up, but, you know, fixable. Fixable. Come on. It's not coming out. Let's fix the bottom of these eyes. Almost. Almost. Wish I could play music. So close. Not bad. Citadel color layer pink horror. Why pink horror? Because it's there. Let's see if I can get this to come out. Nope. Logged up. Let's see now. Yay. Pretty good. Almost done. Going back to the brown. A little bit more. Stupid net. Okay, let's do one more little down. Need to get this really sharp. There you go. Okay, now, as I said before, his hair is dirty blonde. It's not brown. So, hopefully my paint didn't dry out. It dried out. This was my Citadel layer Uriel yellow, and it's dried out. Let's see. Maybe this one will work. This is Citadel Base Aberland Sunset. And this is not doing so great. Sorry. think that'll work. Brown. Kind of mixing the two together to tone it down in some spots. Mainly here. Looks pretty good to me. And holy crap, it's been almost an hour. His head is still outside, but I'm going to do his undershirt. And hopefully the paint works. This is Citadel Base Castellan Green. Look at that, it works. Lots of little folds on this figure. So you gotta pay attention to what you're doing. So Hannibal and Face here are both Marauder figures. Nothing's done to Face. You saw me kind of lightly brush over the hands and neck. Other than that, it's just the standard red shirt, black pants. This one, though, is a World War II upper body, which I did some sculpting of pockets on. Pockets here and here. And then painted. I was going to go with a field green jacket or even do like a jungle camo jacket, but I decided to go tan on tan because he wore a lot of tan jackets. Could have done the blue shirt, but maybe I should go back and do a blue shirt. Oops. There's this shirt. I don't know what tan I used to paint this, and it is fully painted. I used the tan upper so you can see the joint is a slightly different color, but it was primed and painted, and I did the same thing with the legs. They're tan but painted. I'm gonna paint the bottoms of the shoes. What tan did I use? I think I just used this. Citadel Color Base Zandri Dust. Pretty sure that's what I used. Let's find out. Because if you were watching, I just made a little mistake on the back of the neck there. Oh gosh. I gotta remember next winter to take my paints in for the winter because they did not do so well out here. It got real cold. I think we had a week of sub-zero temperatures. Yep, it was what it was. Mini 13, or Mini 14, sorry. But I gotta make it slightly bigger, just ever so slightly. Print up a couple more of those. Need at least 4, right? 1 for each of them. And then call that done. So there's the face. I don't know, has anybody else had issues with the shirt bodies getting sticky? It's like the old school plastic. I had a lot of old toys that did that, but nothing modern. Alright, last thing, and then I'm going to stop the video for now. I got a little bit of paint on the cuff here. So just taking the edge of an X-Acto and kind of I am just scraping it off. It's not even a kind of thing, it just is. Well, there he goes. I'm going to make the other 3. I need to figure out what body I'm going to use for BA. Because in the show, he's not super... I mean, Mr. T's not super tall, and even in the show, he's about the same height as everybody, and I got a lot of big, muscly guys that are bigger, but none that are about the same size. So I'm going to look through my files and see if I can print something, and I may end up printing him. I have the head printed somewhere. I don't think it's on my desk right now. Same thing with Murdoch. But there you go. So got these done. When I get the head primed, I'll finish a video on this guy, and then I'll do a video for BA and Howlin' Mad Murdoch. All right, take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye.